Hello, my fellow advocates, and welcome back to the Fan Advocacy Network. You know, in one of my Captain Marvel videos, I mentioned the marketing for Captain Marvel and the marketing for Alita. And I mentioned Lockey. And that was an incredible story about a girl who had both of her arms amputated. And she is somebody who you saw in the footage that she is just an extraordinary young woman, and they decided to give her a pair of these exclusive bionic arms for the premiere of the movie. And then she would be able to walk on the red carpet, take pictures. She'd be able to see the movie, basically being treated like a VIP. And for me, that was an incredible thing. And I mentioned that, but I don't think I did that enough credit, because that scene is so powerful. And I got hundreds of comments from people saying, oh my gosh, I go, why haven't I heard of this? Why haven't I heard of this incredible moment with this girl? Well, it's because the SJW media was too busy fawning over Captain Marvel. They were too busy promoting scam charities and telling you why you're misogynistic to focus on something as incredible as this. So we've seen Lockey go on other shows, and it's been pretty cool. She showed off her arms, and that to me was something that really tugged at my heartstrings and made me proud to support Alita, which in its own right was a fantastic movie, and it didn't attack the fans, and the main actress was likable, and she was nice and kind and considerate. All of this plays a major role. Now, compared to Captain Marvel, I haven't heard anything about these so-called underprivileged girls, whoever they are, receiving all this money. I haven't seen videos and press statements and all these huge to-dos about how they took this money and they made the day for all these little girls. I haven't heard any of that. In fact, as far as marketing goes, this is one of the worst campaigns that I've ever seen. You have this whole thing about how you were going to send these underprivileged girls to go see the movie, but that was only one ticket. You weren't going to drive them to the theater in a limo. You weren't going to give them all the popcorn that they wanted. You were simply going to give them a ticket to see Captain Marvel, which if they're underage, their parents are going to have to pay a ticket to go with them, yes? So basically what you've done is you've created a scam. You've found a way to trick people into going to see a movie with the idea that you're being generous. Brie Larson, you're awful. You don't even know how to charity right. You are a vain, selfish, narcissistic person. You're not a good person. Because if you were, you'd give up one of those expensive handbags you took a picture of yourself with, remembering the death of Stan Lee, and you'd send all of these girls to these events VIP style. But you see, you're a dumb, classless twit. You have no character to speak of whatsoever. And that's why it's so frustrating to watch SJWs glom onto this movie, because you are supporting a terrible person, a terrible character that nobody likes. You're trying to force this garbage onto people in the most sinister way possible, and then you wonder why people have an issue with it. And on the other side, you don't support Alita. You don't. You don't go out of your way to promote Alita. You don't talk about Alita, because it doesn't matter to you about female characters or female representation. What matters to you, if you are a creepy, degenerate SJW NPC, is having the right type of female, give out the right type of politics, and have it be cloaked in fan antagonism and hatred towards the audience and hatred towards men and hatred towards white people. It has to be cloaked in this miasma of toxic, degenerate SJW garbage. And if it's not, you don't care about any of it. You don't care that Rosa Salazar did an amazing job as Alita. You don't care about that movie. You don't care about the fact that the action scenes in Alita were better than any movie that you've seen in probably the last 10 years. That movie was off the chain. It was amazing. But you don't care. You don't care about Lockey. You don't care about her having this amazing experience. And these mythical underprivileged girls who you were never given a face or name, you were never shown these people in any way, not in any real substantive way. There weren't many videos on this. There weren't exposés. There weren't interviews where these young girls talk about what Captain Marvel means to them or have them go to the red carpet and just walk down and share part of themselves. No, it was a complete scam. It was all designed to give underprivileged girls these tickets if they even got them, and then if they did, then their parents would have to buy tickets, their parents would have to buy the food and the drink, and ultimately their parents would have to get them to and from. This is one of the worst charity things that I've ever seen, and it just reveals how absolutely careless these people are. They are careless in their execution. They are careless in what they do. They don't really give a second thought to the logistics of any of this because, hell, in Brie Larson's mind, it's all peasant shit. It doesn't matter. You know, she's doing this to feel good about herself. It doesn't matter the logistics. It doesn't matter that you actually have to get to the theater and you have to pay for food and then other people are going to go if you're underage. I mean, this whole thing reeks to high heaven. And if you're talking about people who are underprivileged, going to the movies is a luxury that you can't afford. That's the whole point of this so-called charity. And you are going to make these parents pay extra money for themselves. And what if they have a sister? They have to pay for the sister and themselves and the food for these kids. I mean, just understand that what you're doing is not charity. It is disgusting and it is transparent and it reveals that you don't care about any of this. So contrast that with Alita Battle Angel and how that movie managed to make this girl, who's amazing and stunning and brave, and I'm saying that non-ironically, this marketing was actually carefully thought out. It was beautifully executed. You got to see her having a good time. You got to see her give her own words. You got to see the smile on her face when she was out there. It was a major moment. And I don't think she will ever forget it for the rest of her life. Now, what I hope happens is when they announce Alita Battle Angel 2, they bring this girl back and they do the same thing for other girls. Because that marketing is just, it's a beautiful thing to see. I'm hoping that other girls in Tilly's situation can get a chance to experience that type of satisfaction of walking out there and having paparazzi take pictures of you and just having a once-in-a-lifetime moment with Rosa Salazar and the other people of the cast and going out there and watching the premiere like you're a VIP and getting a limo ride home and having this whole ordeal be about you and being about making you feel important. I think that is incredible. So I think it's worth talking about and mentioning that Alita Battle Angel is the movie that should be praised all the way around for everything that it did. But Captain Marvel is the one that's being praised. Captain Marvel is the one that is being propped up. It's the movie that people are saying, this is just the best thing ever. No, Captain Marvel is the absolute worst. It is garbage tier propaganda from people who just simply do not care. They don't care what you think about their divisive statements. They don't care what you think about the movie. They don't care what you think about the character. They want your praise and your compliments, or they view you as a troll and you need to be purged from the fan base. These people are detestable. They're repulsive, and I have nothing but disdain for them, which is why I continue to point this out. Now, I don't particularly like some of the things that Gal Gadot says. I think she's far too regressive. But Wonder Woman was a fantastic film. And in the lead up to Wonder Woman, she wasn't out there spewing feminist propaganda and absolute garbage politics. It was purely about the movie. It was purely about enjoying the immersion of Wonder Woman. And I think that was to the benefit of her and the film. Rosa Salazar wasn't out there making outrageous feminist SJW claims and declarations, and that was to the benefit of her and the film and the fans. And it all should be about the fans, the people who have to consume the material. You're working for them. These people are basically hot dog vendors. They should be trying to create a hot dog that you want to buy, that you can't live without. You have to go and get that hot dog. But these SJWs, they're just so weird. They're like, well, I know you want a hot dog, but what we're going to do is we're going to give you a bunch of tofu in a bun, and we're going to put hot sauce and honey and peanut butter on it, and we're going to give it to you. And if you don't like it, well, then you're a bigot, and we don't care what you think. And then when people don't buy their stuff, they go, well, why the hell didn't you buy our stuff? What, are you racist? These people are mentally ill. And that is a major problem when you have them in an industry that is beloved by so many people. You have these people tuning out and going to other things. The idea that a Star Wars movie could lose out in terms of box office to an anime adaptation, it would be so far-fetched 10 years ago that nobody would even mention it. If you said, hey, I bet if they adapted this anime and manga into a movie, I bet it can make more money than a Star Wars film, you would have been laughed out of the room. There's nobody who would have ever imagined that that would be the case. But SJWs, because they are toxic and because they eat away at things slowly, they have gotten to the point where Alita Battle Angel has earned more money than Solo, a Star Wars story. Incredible. So ladies and gentlemen, I appreciate you guys supporting the channel. I appreciate all the comments, positive and negative, although it is overwhelmingly positive. I appreciate you guys supporting what I do and coming and making this channel be bigger and better every single day. I appreciate everything that you guys have given me, and I will continue to try to make content that you think is interesting and that I want to make, and I hope that you will continue to stay around because the Fan Advocacy Network has a lot more to offer. So anyway, with that being said, I'd like to bid you guys a good day, a farewell, and I will see you next time.